What's the story, Morning Glory? What is the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of 90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days, Season 16, The Tell All Part 2, and the season finale. So we are done with these people. Thank God, hallelujah, praise the Lord, because I am so sick and tired of all of them, except for David, Sheila, and Tyree. So nobody on this cast this season, in my personal opinion, was remotely likable. I didn't like any of these people except for David, Sheila, and Tyree. These people were so busy lying, manipulating, conning, and scheming each other. It was absolutely pathetic. The true reason for this show was completely lost on all of these couples, except for obviously David and Sheila and Gino and Jasmine, even though Gina and Jasmine, they're on that BS. So it's like, I don't even know what was the purpose of us following the majority of these stories. And maybe even Nicola and, Misha, okay, maybe there's some validity to their relationship, but I think that their relationship is going downhill fast. But anyway, I didn't like the majority of these people. I'm glad this season is over. So let's get started with the biggest scammer of all, Violet. So we are starting off this episode where we left off from last week's episode, where we're talking about Violet and her pregnancy. And Sean asked Violet, are you pregnant, or are you pregnant with Riley's child? So Violet, you know, she starts with her fake crying and her fake tears, because I don't think I saw any tears when she was talking about because of her age and because of her health, she ended up losing the pregnancy. Now, the discussion of pregnancy and miscarriage is a very delicate topic. It's a very delicate situation. And as a woman, hearing another woman talk about the loss of their child, I have to tread extremely lightly. But respectfully, I do not think that Violet was ever pregnant. I think that she lied to Riley. I think that's the reason why she didn't choose the hospital that Riley wanted her to go to, a hospital that he could have been in communication with, where there would not have been a language barrier and he can keep up to date with her pregnancy. The reason why she didn't want to go to that hospital was because I don't think she was pregnant. And I think, that's, you know, he would have found out that she really wasn't pregnant. So I'm not trying to be insensitive to what she claims that she has gone through, but my personal gut feeling, and I have to be real on here, I'm not here to lie or BS anybody, I don't think that Violet was ever pregnant. I think she only told Riley that because she just wanted money from him. I think she was just scamming him for money. I don't believe in their relationship, because let's not forget when he was in Vietnam and they were coming out of that store, I think they were coming out of the tailors, when he saw on her phone a picture of a guy that she was texting or communicating with or whatever. Let's not forget that that happened, that there was that possibility that she was talking to a whole nother man. So Riley says that he cannot emotionally connect with what she's going through. Like, he doesn't feel that sense of loss. Oh no, I lost a child as well. He doesn't feel that because he probably had no proof of her ever being pregnant other than some bogus pregnancy test, respectfully. So I don't think he saw any ultrasound pictures. I don't think he saw any medical records to confirm the pregnancy. So he doesn't feel any kind of emotional connection with what's going on with Violet. So Violet will be coming to the United States on a tourist visa, and they do plan to meet. And Riley says that he's holding the door open just a crack for a possible reconciliation. Well, good luck to all of that. I don't think that this is a good match. I don't think that they should be getting back together, but who the hell am I? They can do whatever the hell they want. They're grown, they're adults, they can do whatever they want. But I just don't see a promising future between Riley and Violet. And I think that Violet was just trying to scam him for money. Moving on to Christian and Cleo. So Cleo was actually in the United States. I sure so wish that the season lasted long enough for us to see that. That would have been interesting to see. And Cleo did meet his family, Christian's family, but she only met the female side of his family. And when they asked Christian, well, why didn't she meet the male side of your family? He said that he was trying to protect her because the men in his family are very toxic, and they're probably transphobic, and so he was trying to protect Cleo from all of that. That to me just sounded so strange, on how you introduce your significant other only to the women but not to the men. That just sounds so bizarre to me. I mean, what kind of family are you from, Christian? I mean, are you really trying to make us believe that the men in your family would have like harassed her and attacked her and insulted her if they just would have been introduced to her for a few minutes? I mean, is it that bad? Is that really the kind of family that you come from, Christian? The whole thing just seemed really bizarre, but if that's what he says happens, that's what he says happened. I just kind of find it hard to believe that it would have been that bad, but that's his family, not mine. So, Cleo's friend Jane comes on. Jane believes that Christian is still very selfish, and the whole thing with him chatting up with other girls, Jane is not down with that. And I think that it's also been happening recently. Cleo says that there was an instance where Christian was still talking it up with another girl, but this time it was online. So Christian has this message board or chat room that him and his homeboy had created. I don't know the purpose of it. I don't even remember the name of it. It's something Stein or Steinmaster or something like that. And there was a particular girl on the message board that was, hot and heavy for Christian, and, coming on to him really hard. And it made Cleo feel uncomfortable. And I'm pretty sure that Christian was baiting it on and encouraging it. But Christian says on stage that he told the girl online, like he told her that he wasn't interested, or thank you, but no thanks, or something to that effect. Yeah, I don't believe it, Christian. I don't believe it. I think that you were probably still communicating with her. I think that you were probably still goading her on. So yeah, I don't think Christian has the ability to tell any female, I respectfully decline your advances, thanks, but no thanks. I don't think he has the ability to do that. Christian says that he didn't see anything wrong with him chatting with this person online, but he only stopped because it made Cleo uncomfortable. And I think somebody on stage was like, no, that's not the right answer. You should stop because you know that it's wrong to do that. Not only because, you're getting the heat from Cleo to stop talking to this person. You should not even want or have any desire to hold any kind of conversation with this other female online. So then they run the clip of Christian where he was at the bar and he was chatting it up with that girl at the bar, and Razvan was like, what are you doing in the bars? You are someone who's in a relationship. What are you even doing in the bars? Christian says that he craves attention, and he's not an introvert, he's an extrovert, and so he likes to be around people and he likes to talk to everybody, and that's just who he is. And I think they even had a discussion on stage saying that, but this was right after Cleo had told you how comfortable she is with you talking to other women, and now you were at the bar talking to another woman. And he says, well, I can't change that quickly. You can't expect me just to change overnight. So then they play the clip where he had called himself a wolf on the prowl. And they're asking him, so what is that all about? Because it sounds like, you're out there prowling around for women. So what did you mean when you said that? He tries to clean it up and say, oh, it was misconstrued. It was taken out of context. It's not what it seems. You're a liar. It's exactly what it seems. You're out there looking for women. So then the woman that he was talking to at the bar, she comes out on stage, and her name is Deborah. So Deborah says that it felt like he was 100% flirting, because the question was, were you just being friendly, or was this actual flirting? And Deborah says, from what I was receiving, it seemed like he was really flirting with me, like he was trying to hook up with me. And so everyone on stage calls him out for his really bad behavior. Christian says that he feels attacked, which is exactly what he said, I think, during the Thanksgiving dinner when Jane was also confronting him. He was like, yeah, I feel really attacked. And he told Cleo, every time your friend Jane comes around, I feel really attacked. Yeah, he feels attacked when he's being called out on his BS. And he's just not a good boyfriend. And it's just sad to see how Cleo has those, big red hearts in her eyes. And she just sees the best in Christian, and she doesn't want to take heed to what anybody's telling her. And because she's just so desperate to make this relationship work for some crazy odd reason. So Christian tells Cleo that, oh no, excuse me, Jasmine steps in and she tells Cleo that she deserves better. But, Cleo doesn't think that or believe that or want anything to do with that. She's happy with, the guy that she's with. Christian asks Cleo at that point, then he tells Cleo, I've got something to ask you. And then he actually proposes to her and asks her, will you marry me? And Cleo didn't give an answer. She was shocked by this, and as we all were. So she didn't even give an answer. And then Christian says, "Well, this is not an official proposal." What? You ask somebody, will you marry me? And then you take it back by saying, oh, this is not an official proposal. This is just letting you know that this is what I'm thinking about and this is what I'm hoping is going to happen in the future. Cleo does say that there is a better place, for something like this to take place. Cleo seemed happy, though, that she was proposed to, whether it was official or unofficial, real or fake. Cleo seemed really happy that this guy was willing to take that plunge with her. So Christian says that there is an official proposal on the horizon, and then we see Cleo's best friend Jane, and Jane was not happy about this at all. So Christian to me is like an attention whore. He only proposed to her because he was going to get a reaction from the people on the stage and people online. Christian to me, he's just, unfortunately, I think he's only with Cleo. Number one, I think he was very curious about being with a trans woman. Number two, I think he's keeping this going, I think because he just loves the attention. He says he's an extrovert and he loves the attention. Being with the trans woman, when you are presenting as a cis male or a cisgendered male, whatever they call it, I think he just likes the fact that people are talking about him. They're talking about his love life. They're trying to understand and pick apart and examine his relationship with Cleo. And he's just soaking it all in. He's absolutely loving all of this attention that he's getting. But I don't think that he's serious about Cleo. I do think that Cleo deserves better. But I think that Cleo is just blinded by, unfortunately, love. Moving on from there, we have David and Sheila, finally. So Sheila, we found out that Sheila has opened up her own store in the Philippines, which is really great. And it's called David and Sheila's, or Sheila and David's. She named the store after her and David. David did speak to an immigration attorney. We did get to see a clip of that. And they told him that for them to go for the K1 visa, for the fiance visa, it's going to be about 2 years. But if they decided to go with the marriage visa and get married in the Philippines, then for her visa to be approved, it could take up to 3 to 4 years. So they have already started the process, and the K1 with the K1 process, they've already started that, and they've already submitted the application, and so now they're just waiting for the answer. And I think they asked David, what if she gets denied? What if her visa gets denied? And David says they're just going to keep trying. We're going to keep trying until it finally gets approved. This is what 90 Day Fiance is all about. The David and Sheila love story. This is what it's all about. So David was able to fix Sheila's home. And we did see the before and the after, and it was a drastic difference. The house is absolutely beautiful. It looks very sustainable. They have a new roof. So, and he did that for her. David did that for Sheila because he loves her, because this is a real relationship, and he cares about her, and he cares about her family. And this is what I love to see on 90 Day Fiance. So David he says he's working 85 hours per week between his two jobs to try to save up for him and Sheila's future and to pay for the application process, and if he hired an attorney, etc. They talk about Amy, the interpreter. And they showed the clip of where Amy said, if I was dating someone who only knew American Sign Language, I would try my best to also learn American Sign Language. And it only took me about a month to learn it. And I guess she was, trying to show off and try to make, Sheila look bad. So David said there's no way that it only took her a month to learn American Sign Language. He says he didn't believe that. They asked David if there's been any communication between him and Amy, the interpreter, since he came back to America. He said absolutely not. He said he was not interested in her. He was not attracted to her in any kind of way. He only had eyes for Sheila. So, yeah, so that ended on a really good note. So we're just waiting to see if Sheila gets approved. Now, David and Sheila's story may not be that salacious or, that dramatic. It's not full of, juicy hot pipe and tea, but it is a good story, and it is what this show is about. So I do hope that the producers bring David and Sheila back, either for 90 Day Fiance, before the 90 days, the other way, or however they want to do it. I do want to see David and Sheila. I don't want to have to go search the internet, to get updates on them and figure out, what's going on with them now. I really hope that they do bring him back on television. Then we move on to Jasmine and Gino. They talk about the damn prenup. They showed the clip, obviously, where Gino had brought up the prenup to Jasmine, and Jasmine was like, hell to the no, I'm not signing it. And then later on, they showed the clip of where Gino told Jasmine when they met up again that, okay, I'm not going to make you sign the prenup. And then Jasmine told us that she was going to sign the prenup if he had not changed his mind about it. But because he changed his mind and he took it off the table, now she doesn't have to worry about signing it. So they asked, how did you feel about that? And I forgot what he said. Did he say he felt stupid? I don't remember, but I forgot what he said. So the question was, Gino, did you ever make your ex sign a prenuptial agreement? And Gino said no, because his ex was working. She had her own money. She had her own investments and her own retirement plan. So he didn't feel the need to make her sign a prenup because he didn't think that she was after his money. Jasmine, they talk about Jasmine's rejuvenation surgery. She had her rejuvenation surgery, but it was a big fail because it made things very complicated in that department. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, things were a little bit too tight. So yeah, let's just say that it was a fail. Moving on from there. Jasmine says that ever since she's come to America, they've been planning their wedding because they have 90 days to get married. Jasmine begins to cry because she talks about how much she misses her family. But she says that she is doing all of this for Gino, moving away from her family, starting a new life with Gino in America, having to be apart from her loved ones. She says, I'm doing all of this for you, baby, because I love you and I'm in love with you. Good luck. Good for them. Moving on to Amanda and Razvan. So currently, they are not together. When I say currently, I mean at the time of the tell-all, they are not together. They did break up. They broke up 2 to 3 weeks after Amanda returned back to the United States. Razvan said that he wanted to be single and just focus on his career. Jasmine put in her 2 cents, and she thinks that Razvan broke up with Amanda because Amanda was being mean to him. Amanda denied that. She said that is not true at all. They bring out Amanda's sister, and the sister comes out and says that the reason that Amanda and Razvan were fighting a lot, and the main reason why they were fighting was because Amanda was... First of all, Amanda said that Razvan was very controlling. She said that, he did not want her being in certain people's lives. He did not want Amanda giving certain people gifts online, through TikTok or whatever. And the sister says, well, it wasn't just any random person. It was a particular content creator that he did not want her in that person's life. So evidently, Amanda has struck up a friendship with this other creator, and Razvan felt some kind of way about it. And Razvan knew about it because Amanda would tell him about it. And so she said that whenever her and Razvan would get into fights, whenever they weren't getting along, she would go to this other content creator and confide in them. And they struck up this friendship or relationship. And it ended up being... The sister said it ended up being kind of romantic. It was more than just friendship. It wasn't just platonic. Amanda denied it and said, no, it wasn't like that. Amanda was trying to get her sister to shut up. But at the end of the tell-all, Amanda says, she's okay with breaking up with Razvan because she's moved on to somebody else. She's already talking to somebody else. And I'm wondering if it's this content creator that she denies having anything to do with in a romantic way. So Amanda, you're full of games. You need to kind of like get offline and maybe strike up relationships with real people in your real life or something like that. But the fact that you are, out there on the internet searching and falling for thirst traps, and girl, I don't know what's going on with you, but this is very weird and very strange. You fell for Razvan's thirst trap. You got trapped in it. He threw you out. He didn't, the relationship really didn't work out. Now you moved on to another thirst trap. I don't know what's going on with you, Amanda. But this is just all seems kind of bizarre. So, Razvan said that he did have his suspicions that there was something going on between Amanda and this other content creator. Like I said, most of their fights were centered around this other guy. But Amanda got on Christian's case for, you know, talking to random women, but she likes to talk to random TikTok creators or Instagram creators and strike up relationships with them. And I'm like, what's the difference? You're in a relationship with Razvan, but you're still talking to other people. I'm like, what's the difference? It's the pot calling the kettle black. So Riley steps in and he gives his 2 cents, and he says that the only reason that he says that Razvan only used Amanda for sex, and that was it, because after they were intimate, it seemed like Razvan lost interest in her. It doesn't even really matter, because Razvan and Amanda, their whole entire relationship is based on social media, as far as how they met, as far as, you know, why they fight all the time, because she's on social media with somebody else, as far as why they broke up, because she's starting up a relationship with another content creator. So to me, the whole Razvan and Amanda thing is just, I don't even know. I don't think that these people had any real intentions to apply for the K1 visa and to have her move there or him move here. I don't think they had any intention of doing that. I think this was just a way to get on a television show. They both live their lives on social media, so it was just a popularity thing. They just wanted to get on the show, get popular, increase their following, especially Razvan. Of course, being on this show probably multiplied his followers and whatever money he makes online. This whole entire Amanda Razvan thing was just, I don't know. They were cute enough to be on TV, so the producers put them on TV, but this had nothing to do with a real international relationship, falling in love, K1 visa, getting married. It had nothing to do with that. It was just to put a couple of cute people on TV, hopefully to improve the ratings. Moving on from there, we have Tyree. So Tyree admits that he did ignore all of the red flags, you know, not being able to FaceTime, not being able to meet in real life, not being able to talk to this Carmela person on the phone. He ignored all of that, and he ignored all of that for how many years was it? Like 4 years. So the producer Amelia comes out. She's the one that cracked the case wide open, and she's the one that figured out that Tyree was being catfished. So they play the recording that went on between the producer and Christian, and Christian, the person who was catfishing Tyree, he's a horrible human being. He's a really horrible human being. He says that he only did it for money. He was looking for a dumb American that was going to be stupid enough to send him money. He said that Tyree sent him between $2,000 to $3,000. He used that money to get a cell phone and whatever else. Tyree obviously should have known better, but then again, people like Christian are out there, they're predators. You know, they're preying on innocent people who they think they can take advantage of for whatever reason. And then you're stealing money from them because you're making them give you money under false pretenses, which to me is theft. So people like, even though Tyree should have known better, he should have picked up on the red flags, Christian was still a predator, and Christian was still, you know, just a horrible human being, and it's just absolutely horrible. So Sean tells Tyree that they did find Christian's number, and is he willing to call Christian and confront him? So Tyree says yes, I'm willing to do it. Calls the number, the phone rings, and it goes straight to voicemail. Well, it didn't go straight to it rang and then it went to voicemail. So Tyree says that his biggest regret was sending intimate photos of himself to Christian. And I'm thinking to myself, Tyree, there should just be a blanket rule for really everybody. If you don't know, if you have never been in the same room with this person and had a face-to-face conversation with this person, and even then you're taking a risk, do not send intimate photos of yourself to people that you have never seen in person, never talked to in person. Just a blanket rule. Just don't do it. You shouldn't do it, period. I mean, I'm thinking even between husbands and wives and people who are in long-term relationships, that's still kind of iffy. You're still kind of like taking a huge risk, even in that situation. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. I don't understand why people are willing to send pictures of themselves to people that they don't know, people that they barely know, because you just don't know what's going to happen. He says that's his biggest regret, and he thought that he was going to be blackmailed for those pictures, but thank God that that didn't happen. They asked Tyra if he's single. He says he's definitely single, but he's not looking because he's working on himself right now. The smartest words ever spoken on that stage. And that was the end of the tell-all, thank God. So at the very, very end, everybody's talking about, you know, what their next step is going to be. Amanda she said she's already talking to somebody else, like I already said before. She's already moved on to somebody else. She didn't want to mention that on stage because she didn't want to hurt Razvan's feeling. I never really cared for Amanda from the very beginning. I really didn't care for her. And this just kind of solidifies my feelings and, you know, justifies the way that I felt about her. I don't think she really wants a relationship with anybody. I think she just wants to hook up with good-looking guys that she sees on the internet. She's just a thirst trap groupie. Riley doesn't see a future with Violet, but he still doesn't really know. What that tells me is that if Violet comes to America, where she's on her way, she's supposed to be coming to America, if she's willing to get down with the get down, Riley's willing to get down with the get down. That's what that tells me. So he doesn't want to, you know, say, oh, I will never talk to her again, I will never see her again, because he's hoping that they can still, you know, have one last romp. That's what he's hoping for. So he wants to keep the door open for that. As far as them being in a relationship, I think it's not a good idea, but you know, whatever. David, he's still working on the visa for Sheila, and he's hoping that, you know, that they're able to get married in Vegas. He wants to have a Vegas wedding, and I really truly hope that everything works out for them. Christian thinks that he has been redeemed. By who? In whose eyes? Because to me, you still come off as the jerk that you've always been. Maybe you've been redeemed in Cleo's eyes, because Cleo, you know, she's just too blinded by love, and she's too infatuated by you to see clearly, to think clearly. But you haven't been redeemed in my eyes. Christian, you're still as much of a jerk as you were when you were running around in England. Statler says she's on her way to England, but she doesn't see her relationship with Dempsey improving unless they can improve their communication skills. Jasmine and Gino, they have 90 days to plan a wedding. Good luck to all of that. This is a lackluster review because I think this was a very lackluster episode. So I do apologize for that. I'm just glad that it's over. These people were despicable, unlikable, except for, like I said, David, Sheila, and Tyree. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video if you like this content, subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.